It is way easier to sell someone who's already bought from you than it is to find a brand new cold customer and get them bought in on the value that you can provide. But if you're managing accounts, it can feel really awkward or tricky to try to sell them more when you're still trying to make sure that they're happy with what you've sold them already. My name is Leslie Douglas. I'm the VP of Sponsorships and Client Services at Sell Better. And I've managed accounts ranging from huge multinational corporations to mom and pop shops across industries like manufacturing, hospitality, HR, e-commerce, and digital marketing. In this mini course, I'll be walking you through how you can identify opportunities to upsell and cross-sell within your existing customers, how to initiate an expansion conversation to increase the amount of business you can do within any one company, and how to deliver exceptional service the entire time. Stay in touch without being that salesperson. Too many account managers only reach out when it's time to renew, or worse, when they need something. If you are only checking in at contract renewal time, you are making it 10 times harder on yourself when it comes to expansion. Instead, here's how to keep relationships alive without feeling like you're nagging them. Number one, don't be the disappearing salesperson. If the only time they hear from you is when you want to sell them something, you have lost the relationship before you even start. You have to stay engaged before you need to make a pitch. The next thing is maintaining regular but valuable contact. This doesn't mean spamming their inbox. It means sharing industry insights that apply to their business. I like to do quarterly or monthly reports for my top tier accounts to share back all of the great things that we're accomplishing inside of our partnership together. I make it co-branded too, so that they can see our logos next to each other as frequently as possible. Commenting on their LinkedIn posts or company news. If they have an important campaign, show up in all of their social channels with really thoughtful replies. I ask and encourage our team to do the same, and I send links to internal company chat channels to have people chime in. Sending a quick, "Hey, I saw this and I thought about you" message when you find something relevant, it helps to know their goals and make sure that you're tracking those and can comment on big milestones. The next thing to do is to look for key events. They could be leadership changes, new funding rounds, product launches, major hiring spikes, or shifts in any sort of strategy that they've announced publicly. Next is being thoughtful. If your client mentions they're dealing with a challenge, don't wait. Offer solutions, not just being that salesperson that shows up to take their money. Overall, the best sales happen in conversations that aren't about sales at all. Stay engaged in a way that feels really natural, and you'll spot expansion opportunities before they become blatantly obvious. Not every moment is the right time to upsell or cross-sell, but if you wait too long, you miss the window entirely. So here's how to identify the right timing. First could be after proof of value. Once your product or service has delivered a win for your client, that's your first major signal. No one buys more of something unless they know it works. Next might be any key milestone. It could be 30, 60, 90 days in where you're getting early momentum, after some major success metric is hit, or right before budget planning cycles. Third option is based on intent and account signals. If you see any of the following, it's go time. If they're using your product more frequently, if they're hiring more people in a relevant department that is using your product or service, if they're expanding into a new market or asking for more support, this means they need more of what you have to offer. Overall, the best time to expand is when the client is already seeing value and momentum. Watch for signals and be proactive. There's no one way to grow an account. There are multiple expansion plays that you can use depending on what makes sense for your situation. The first one we'll talk about is the upsell. So selling a bigger or better version of what they already have. Example is a client using your software's basic plan can move up to enterprise level features or add modules. When you're approaching for an upsell, I like to say something like, "Hi Julie, since your team's been seeing success with this current product, I thought it might make sense to explore how this new feature or this new product could support your upcoming initiatives. Would you be open to a quick conversation about that?" The next opportunity is selling more of the same product. So an example might be a restaurant using your payroll software. It adds more locations. So they're gonna need additional licenses at each of these locations. The next opportunity would be the cross-sell, selling them something different but related. For example, if they're using your email marketing tool, you're gonna introduce them to your CRM product. For a cross-sell opportunity, I'll say something like, hey, I noticed that your other department is tackling this relevant challenge. Since we've been able to support marketing department with this solution, I would love to see if there's an opportunity to help there as well. Do you mind making an introduction for me? Another opportunity is breaking into departments, teams, or geographies that you're not currently in. So if you're selling into marketing, but now you see a use case for customer success or sales, that is your next move. There's always another way to expand a client relationship. Don't just default to buy more. Find the play that actually fits their needs, and you can grow your relationship with them in a more natural way. Now that you know when and what to sell, here's how you can actually start the conversation without feeling pushy. My number one is understand their problems and initiatives. You can ask questions like, what's your top priority this quarter? Or what's something you wish you could do better? Frame your expansion pitch as a solution to their goals, not just an add-on. The second thing you can do is get referrals from your current contact. So, hey, I know that this department deals with this challenge. Would it make sense for me to connect with them? Internal referrals carry way more weight than your cold outreach. The next opportunity is cold prospecting inside of your existing accounts. So if your champion isn't able to give you a referral, don't be afraid to reach out to new teams yourself. You could say something like, hey, I'm working with Maria in the marketing department on this initiative, and I noticed your team is also focused on this challenge. Would love to see if there's any alignment. Expanding an account isn't always about pushing for a sale. It's about aligning with your client's evolving needs. If you do that well, then expansion just happens naturally. So a quick recap of the main points that we just discussed. Expansion isn't about selling more, it's about solving more. Your best opportunities are already in your pipeline. You just have to recognize them. Be sure to stay in touch and watch for timing signals. Be intentional about how you expand. But now it's time for action. Go ahead and start looking at your current accounts and identify at least one expansion opportunity. Then ask yourself, what's your next step? If you want to continue this conversation, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'll be cheering you on.